when they asked me to do this, they said, first of all, no pitching, no saying that you're hiring, no giving advice. And I was like, okay, that rules out every speech I've ever given as a CEO. So what am I going to do now? And so I thought I would start with this. Sonia mio Carla. All right. I thought that might get things started. Yeah, I used to be an opera singer. There I am. Look at me. Yeah, kind of random story, and I won't go into too many details, but yeah, I was really into opera and singing opera. I did some postgraduate study at Salzburg College in Austria. Did some singing here at the Seattle Opera, just right here in the neighborhood. But yeah, so I did that. I'm actually from West Texas. That's me on the left, my little brother here. My little brother just had a niece, so I was just in Texas yesterday. It was 90 degrees. It was awesome. So yeah, I'm from West Texas, so why am I here in the Northwest? I'm not really sure. I also used to be like long-haired hippie, rock climbing, backpacker kind of a guy. And so somehow I ended up here as a tech CEO in Seattle. And that's me with Ben Gibbard, by the way, who's one of my heroes, Postal Service. We got him to play at our holiday party this year at HasOffers. You know, as all musicians, I think you run into, they're like, okay, how am I going to make money now? Same thing with rock climbers and hippies. And I was always trying to figure out, okay, what's the next thing? I was definitely kind of an entrepreneur, kind of put my fingers in a lot of different pies. I had an environmental lawn care company one time. I had 3 different e-commerce websites, helmetlights.com, you know, selling helmet lights for high-speed motocross, nighttime racing. Lots of different things. But in the midst of all of that, I started to really build some chops in online marketing. I started building websites for people. I read like HTML for Dummies, and I started to understand a little CSS and get some JavaScript going. And I could do some really simple things and simple backends. And yeah, I got to have some pretty decent clients. And pretty soon, you know, those clients were saying, hey, now I've got a website, but no one comes to it. So I was like, oh, maybe I could try to figure some of that out. And I had a buddy that was into SEO, so that was the first way I got into it. How many internet marketers in the house? How many people got started in something like SEO or PPC? Yeah, oh, okay, not that many. But you know, I started to explore like how do you influence people on the web? How do you get people to go from one site to another site? And there were a few tactics out there. I worked for agencies for a little bit. Mostly always kind of working on my own as a consultant out of my house, and I got into media buying, which that's actually buying ad inventory for advertisers, you know, on their behalf, and that was, you know, kind of a whole new world that I didn't really fully understand. And in 2008, I met these guys in Seattle, Lucas and Lee Brown, who had also been really heavy online marketers doing that media buying thing like on a whole nother exponential level. They built their first affiliate ad network when they were 20 years old in the dormitories at Babson College. And they actually grew that up to a pretty substantial beast of a company. It ended up doing like 48 million in revenue the last year it was around. It's a low margins business, right? Because it's an ad network, so they were, you know, scraping 20% margins or something like that. But a lot of money for 20-year-olds in college. And they, you know, they had a partner out on the East Coast, and he had been, you know, sort of building all the offers and connecting a lot of the business deals. And these two guys, Lucas and Lee, really just loved the technology. Like, they loved building ad serving technology. They loved building ways to determine like what advertising is working and what advertising is not. And at the time, you know, in late 2008 and early 2009, there were not a lot of solutions out there for people to be able to create their own publisher program, right? So I want to get like, say, 10 of my friends out there to promote my website, and every time I get a conversion, I want to pay them for that conversion that they gave me, right? It's the age-old referral program, basically. But some businesses want to do that at scale, right? They want to have thousands or hundreds of thousands of publishers. They want to be able to manage all of these people, determine which conversions came from who, generate invoices, pay those people, and they create this like giant business out of it. And there weren't a lot of platforms for doing that at the time. So basically from an ad server that Lee had built for the previous company, we white labeled it and kind of fastened it together and made a SaaS product and pushed it out the door. within a couple of months in early 2009. And lo and behold, it really kind of took off. There was one major competitor in the category at the time, and they were just kind of a behemoth, charging $15,000 to get set up and $10,000 minimum ongoing. And of course, we started by just giving it away for free and see if anybody signs up. And then we created a SaaS business model. And it actually kind of worked. Like we really got a lot of people to sign up. It was my first time as a marketer to get to launch a SaaS product, which was freaking amazing. If you study SaaS revenue at all and the way it just compounds like that month over month, and if you came from an agency background, you're like, oh my gosh, this is gold. So we had 3,000 people sign up for the free version there in 2009. We were able to create a SaaS model that year, and we were profitable by October of 2010. And at that point, still completely bootstrapped. So that's when you clap, by the way. Boop, 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 boop. It really, oh, really? Okay. Seriously? All right. So I'll just skip a few different things. We caught wind of another change, though, that was happening in online advertising, and that's that people were using mobile apps, and advertisers want to reach people in and outside of mobile apps. 80% of smartphone usage was in mobile apps. That's not to slam on the browser world, obviously, but there's a lot of advertising opportunity there. People want to be able to connect to users through mobile app environments. And really, no one had laid any pipe for doing conversion tracking for mobile apps. So we launched this product, mobile app tracking. I was going to do a quick demo for you. The basic idea is that, maybe this will work real quick. But basically, you create tracking links for all the different networks and partners that you want to work with. You hand those out to them. They send users to those links, and then we're able to determine like these installs came from those sources, and those sources also cause like a certain amount of lifetime value from that user, right? So the user came back again and again, they re-engaged, and that sort of thing. So you can work with all of these different publishing partners. We've now integrated with over 450 ad networks and publishing partners, including like Google and Twitter and Windows and lots of really exciting companies out there that are promoting mobile apps. And today now I'll just skip to the next slide here. Should have timed this a little better, huh, guys? Having trouble with it. You want me to sing again? So basically, at this point, we're a top 10 mobile advertising company by VentureBeat. We raised some money finally with Excel Partners, and we attribute now over 3,000 mobile apps. We do attribution analytics for over 3,000 mobile apps, and those apps are really doing advertising, right? So they're not just doing analytics; they actually have advertising budgets. And at this point, we're integrated with over half of the top grossing apps in the iTunes store. So it's been a fast success. We've been having a lot of fun with it. I'll just fly through here. Revenue tripled in 1 year, and honestly, the industry is just barely getting started. They predicted in 2013 it was going to be like $7 billion for mobile advertising, and it came in at around 9.6. So that was a little bit off. And then 2014 is predicted at 14.9. So it's just a massively fast-growing business and world where it's definitely a land grab right now. So all of you that see opportunities in mobile, advertising is definitely going to be a big one coming up. That's really all I have then. I'll stop there. Main thing is that we're still having a blast with it. We're having a great time. We love what we do. And yeah, that's it.
Questions?
I'll just leave that one up. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sign up. Yeah, we have a pay-as-you-go model as well, so any app developer can get going. We definitely believe that getting more technology in the hands of more people kind of escalates the whole industry, and that's why we started off with this SaaS business in the first place. We're pretty hardcore about things like documentation, making sure there's lots of information on how to use this stuff, especially in a brand new world where no one kind of knows what's going on. It's very much appreciated.
There's a question up top.
That's a big one. Yeah,
Can you
we're still.
repeat the question?
Did we work out our issues with Facebook and PII? Well, the issue was not about PII in particular, but Facebook did come down on us for not adhering to some of their terms. And that had to do with the issue that, so our SDK is inside a mobile app, right? And when a user installs the mobile app, it fires up some information. That information, according to our service and terms agreements, belongs to the advertiser, right? And so there's always been a little bit of a battle of like who owns that data, and so like determining like data, how long data should be retained, and where data should be stored, and all that sort of thing. We were working very hard to try to figure this out with Facebook. Our fundamental system was not really aligned with the way they wanted to do it, but we gave them several options, and ultimately they decided we'd just rather not work with you guys for the time being. So they cut the cord on that, and that's happened, really the beginning of that started last September. So kind of before a lot of our big growth that's happened over the past year. From a product standpoint, or from just company at large? Yeah, I mean the product side, obviously, like we're getting deeper into the attribution side of things. Like it's not just last click anymore. We want to show if users clicked on an ad before the last advertisement they experienced, or maybe they saw something the day before. We start to create like a whole like visual understanding of what the user has done before they actually converted. So that's a big area of our interest. We're also getting really deep into re-engagement. So, okay, the user already has the app on their phone. How does advertising and marketing impact them to open it up again, to spend money, to do something new? So from a product perspective, that's really big for us. We're still really focusing on product and engineering overall, although we have had quite a bit of international expansion from sales and marketing. So we have offices in Tel Aviv, and Berlin, London, Seoul, and we're also in New York and San Francisco here in the States. So that's going to be a big focus for us, just trying to like get out to the world as quickly as possible and touch as many people with this technology as we can.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have or has questions, you can find Peter. And guys, come on. Tough crowd. Woo!
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.